Okay, so today we're going to answer your question of how much PSI does my 150 TC need to have. I rebuilt these quite a bit. I like these. I use these for climbing. Not sponsored by Stihl, and I'm not here to tell you what the exact compression is, but what I will tell you, if you have 100 PSI, if you're going to buy a saw, make sure it has 90 to 100 minimum. When your saw starts to bog when you're cutting and it doesn't seem like it's running right, and the first thing you're thinking of is carburetor, that's when you need to check your compression. And if your compression's below 90 somewhere, because I don't know the exact specifications, but I know when I rebuild these, I'm at 100, 110 maybe, somewhere in there. All these that I've been running and tested are all between 90 and 100. I don't know which ones I've rebuilt because I've got so many of these. These are just a few of the ones I got. So yeah, you need to check your compression when your saw is running or bogging under pressure or when you give it gas. What I'll show you here is damage. Look how good you can, I don't know if you can see that real good. This is the exhaust side. Your exhaust side always gets hotter. Damage. This one's not as bad. This one doesn't look that bad at all. But you can see here on the top. And this one's just out of a low compression motor. These had between 20 and 40 PSI, which is not enough. I've actually seen these saws run and start with 20 PSI, but not be able to cut or idle. So if your saw's having trouble idling, you put a new carburetor on it, go ahead and check your compression. It's probably low. These are easy to rebuild. If you've rebuilt one and you have low compression, if you've reused the metal gasket and you put a whole bunch of gasket sealer on here, if you've made this thicker, you will lose compression. My suggestion is if you buy a new one, but if you're gonna use the old metal gasket, which I do quite a bit, I take the gasket sealer and I just rub a real light, thin, ultra thin coating on here just to glue it to my cylinder so when I go to put it on, it doesn't move around. So the answer to the question is, if you're buying a saw, 90 to 100 is what I would buy at. If you can go to somebody's house and you can start the saw and you can get it warm and you can run it and you can cut with it without it bogging, that's probably a good deal, depending on what you're paying for it, of course. So minimum 90 in my opinion. I've been cutting with one that's 90 PSI and it seems to be a ripping little saw. So there you go, guys. There's the answer you were looking for.
23, I'm a Jersey, Michael Jordan, and I pulled up top 10 on the chart, cause you know I don't lack, never lack, cause I'm in the fucking sandstorm, looking back, looking left, looking right, who's got my back? Nobody, that's why I gotta go